guys and girls, welcome back to my channel. I do hope you're doing well. We are having a little sit down, a little scandals with Shan about the ever growing cost of living, because I don't know about you, my lovelies, but I do not know where this is coming from. I don't know why it's coming from, and I've had quite a few lengthy answers to this, so this is going to be one definitely to sit back and relax to. And if there is any tips or tricks we can all help each other with saving some money out there, please do. Today's black top of choice is the James Bay top. This was from the tour, however it wasn't quite the one I thought I was getting. I thought I was getting one with all of the dates on the back. Turns out I just got him with his hats. So you know what? I'm not complaining. But my lovelies, I do hope you enjoy. Let's get in with the scandals with Shan, the cost of... You know these videos, we like to get comfy. And what are we thinking of the hair? I've tried to curl it very lightly because I don't really use heat much on my hair now. Because hair journey, we're trying not to colour, heat, style, anything like that. But I can't lie, I was getting very bored with just straight hair if I did put heat on it, or hair up in a ponytail. So I got out the Mark Hill interchangeable wand, and I found my old like mermaid wave curl. I mean, it's nothing like it was when I used to have my long hair, but you know what, it'll do. It'll do. It's give it a little bit of volume. It's something different. I feel like a little bit of a curly Sue, but hey ho, we shall see. We shall see, my lovelies, because I just fancied a little change, you know. I actually look really small in this chair from this angle. Shall we zoom you in a tad? I mean, you probably don't want to get much more up close and personal with a non-makeup Shan, do we? We're letting our skin breathe as well. My skin, for some reason, I don't know if it's where we're transitioning from the winter into spring, but my skin is not my friend at the moment. So my rosacea flared up lovely. And as you can see, I have all little patches, but we don't judge on this channel here. We are all here about self-embracement au naturel. So I asked over on my Instagram and my emails if you want to get involved with them, my lovelies. They're both down below. And whenever I do stuff like scandals, sit down, mukbangs, moments with Mama G, everything like that, I'll always ask over there, and you can send your replies in. They'll always remain anonymous, and it just helps me. Otherwise I'll be sitting here waffling myself. Cost of living is ridiculous. I've just had to remortgage and it has gone up almost £400 a month. How on earth is this even livable? When are you locked in for yours? As I hope you don't get stung like I did. I am locked in for another 4 years. I signed up for 5 years last year when I got the mortgage, and a lot of people said, oh, but the rates could go down. That's the chance you take. I thought, at least if it's locked in for 5 years, I know where I am. If it goes down, that's tough titties on me, because I should have maybe done 1 or 2 years. But if it goes up, I'm happy because I'm locked in at a better rate. I don't know in terms what the rates are at the moment. I locked in at 4.99, which for a first time buyer, I didn't think was too bad. But when I was hearing other people's first time rates, I was like, damn it, that is quite bad, ain't it? But yeah, I'm locked in for another 4 years. Well, what are we now? 4 years and 2 months. Can you believe in almost 2 months I've had the keys a year? That year has just absolutely flown by, and it's not until you actually do have your own home, I think, that you realise the cost of all the little bits and bobs that, say, mum and dad used to, oh, don't worry about, like, all your cleaning and your detergent and bits and bobs. I'm like, damn it, that shizzle's expensive. But yeah, 4 years. So I don't know with that. Is it higher APR? Maybe if you've only locked in for a year thinking it will change, or how long are you locked in on that mortgage? Please do let me know. One of my loves says, it's the government. It's all about tax on everything. The rich get richer and the poor get poorer. Since lockdown and every place closed, it's all about taking the money back in the pot. This country helps other countries before helping their own, with the elders struggling to heat their own. Where is the justice in this? It's sad that countries go through so much pain and lack of food and medical aid, but Britain is struggling just as much, and it would be useful to get the help first. Bills are through the roof. It's a disgrace. Labour promised us the world for a vote. Now they've got in and they've broken every promise. Elders should have heating at a lower rate, and we are all being programmed. It won't be long before cash is gone and everything's digital. I don't follow the masses anymore, as we're taught to believe it's all fake. You've brought up some very good points there, my lovelies. The whole treatment of the elderly, I think, in England is piss poor minus, excuse my French. I don't know any other country that treats their elderlies like we do. You think they've worked, they've put in, they've fought, and for what at the end of it? It's just, I don't agree with the TV licence, the heating. Now I've seen they're trying to take away or reduce the bus passes. I just feel, are you trying to corner the elderly so that they don't leave the home, that they become recluses, that they end up in nursing homes? So probably you have more houses to help other people. I don't know. It just, I don't feel, I'm kind of glad that my grandparents aren't around to see this. My nan in Newcastle, it's so different up north, and a lot of people probably think, oh, you're just saying that. Guys, it honestly is. Like, she's safe when she goes out. She doesn't have to worry about going down this little alley into the corner shop around her little precinct high street. Like, she doesn't have to worry about the stuff like it is down here. And I just think, for how long is that going to be like it? Because it seems to be climbing more north, the problems. And as I say, she's very switched on. She goes out to have her little hair done. She does online banking and she does her shopping online. Like, she's very technified like that. A lot more tech savvy than what mum and dad are, trust me. And I think, yeah, because if she wasn't, and her only form of communication, for example, was going out on the buses or something like that, and you want to start taking all of that away, you're literally segregating the elderly community. And I don't know what they're trying to gain from it, because if anything, they are the ones that deserve the money, as you say, for the heating, for the bus passes. Like, I think elderly people, to be honest, if say they have hospital appointments or that, there should be something put on where they're picked up and taken. If say they can't get to hospital with a family or a friend member, that there's like a little service that can pick them up and take them. I believe there is something like that potentially up at my nan's, like a little ambulance service that picks people up and takes them to the appointments. Don't quote me on that, I'm not too sure. But yeah, I think, I agree with you there. I don't like how the elderly are treated in here. Labour, voting, politics. This is why I don't get into it, because number one, whatever I read with politics just infuriates me. However, I do feel there is a big shift coming, and I think on the next election we're going to be very surprised as to who gets in. And I've seen some candidates who are going to be running for the Mayor of London now, and trust me, I would rather have those people over Sadiq Khan any time of the day, because it's people who kind of, they have an understanding of general people out on the street, your normal working class, your middle class perhaps. It's not all for the rich and all for the private schools and the private education, because let's face it, the politicians don't have an absolute clue what it means to struggle. They don't have a clue as to what it means when people are deciding, do I put the heating on, do I put the TV on, or do I put food on the table? They don't understand that. And it's all well and good them being in charge, but if they're not doing anything good, they'll then end up resigning. Like, is it Theresa May? She was in power for such a short time, but then she still gets her wage. Every year, I think they get like a service, is it a service pension? Or something. Like, she will still get a 6-figure salary every year because she served. You know what, you just think it's absolute ludicrous. That's where you need to be taking the money off. That is where you need to be taking the money off. I saw a thing on TikTok actually, and it was like, in the lead up to the election, and Keir Starmer and everyone was like, your taxes are frozen, your taxes are frozen, nothing's changing, nothing's changing. And then it goes to like the breaking news, council tax goes up, energy bills. You know when you just think, they all lie. They all lie. There are a few parties that are coming up that people may potentially not like, but they speak facts. Okay, I think every political party has some form of like a little propaganda or a little bit to like get the media going or to cause reactions. But I feel on the next election there will be a big shift, because I've said to mum, and I've pretty much said to you guys as well, I feel before the end of this decade there's going to be like a civil war or a riot within England, because I think people are just getting absolutely sick to the bone now of how this is going, how the country's going. I've never known so many riots, so many protests. It doesn't look good, and it's a long time coming, I think. And if it happens, or when it happens, the government will be sure to be like, we did not see this coming. That's because you're not in touch with the normal general person. And when you see these protests and you see the people that they speak to, they're so angry about what's happening to their country. And the politicians are just like, yep, toodaloo. No. I do believe they want the cash gone. That is something as well. I feel like everything's going to go to like a digital currency or your cards. But again, for the elderly, a lot of them just deal with cash. My nan, she had a bank card. She didn't know how to use it. And she would always deal in cash. And when mum would call her, she'd say, Mum, what are you doing? Oh, I'm just going down and say to, I don't know, put the lottery on. Mum would be like, all right. And she'd be like, I've got XYZ in my purse. And my mum would say, well, why on earth are you taking that much? Oh, well, you never know. I might pop into Bon Marsh and see something. My nan had no concept of, she understood value of money, but not to the value of, you don't need to take that much out, because you never know what could happen. But yeah, she wasn't a card person at all. She was cash all the way. And I do believe a lot of it is fake. I am with you there. It is just, I don't see how they feel the country is going in a better way, like progressing to a better state. If anything, it's getting worse. And that's something that's really reconfirmed when me and Dan went to Scotland, and you see a total different way of life up there, and how just generally people are treated, and say the benefits system, it's completely different to it is down here. Prescriptions, they have the thing that Brogan and Liam can't understand is that you can't drink in public places down in London. So up there you can go to the beach, you can start a fire, you can have a barbecue, you can drink. As long as you tidy up after yourself, the police don't mind. But here, we was actually in Wimbledon the other week when we went to Blood Brothers, and there was a sign and it said, no public drinking, maximum fine 1,000. And we put it into our group chat, and they was like, what? No way. And we're like, this is London. And I just think Scotland is a completely different pace of life. And I definitely feel as I'm getting older, I want to go more north, and I would love to live in Scotland. I would love to get a little bit of land and just live up there, or potentially move abroad. There's nothing here in England that is worth anything anymore. Of course, I have like mum and dad and that, and mum says, well, the further north you go, how often am I not going to see you? And I'm like, well, you'll see me more on the baby cam, and I'll have to come down like once a fortnight or whatever. And she was like, oh, I could get a train up. And I'm like, look, it's a long time away. Let's sort this house out first. But yeah, it's just that I don't feel there's nothing in England now. And this cost of living is ridiculous. Hi, hope you're all doing good. Thank you, my lovely. I hope you are too. The cost of living is shocking. The prices are getting absolutely out of control. But I do think it all boils down with the UK catching up with the world. We've had it so easy with costs for many years and was so cheap. I just think times have to move on, meaning it will be as expensive no matter where you live. The cost will continue to rise till we are level with most of the world. And we have to get used to it, because it isn't going to get better in the long run. Lockdown had pushed everything up, and we'll never go back to a new way of living. Unfortunately, a lot of people will struggle, and it will not get back to how it was. We just have to go with the flow. Are we a lot cheaper than other places? I don't know. Was we so far behind? I don't know. See, I saw something from, I think it was like 1990 prices compared to like then to now. And it was like a pint was £1 or something like that. And then you had like a pint of milk, I think was something like 30 or 40p. Fish and chips was £3. And then you look at now, like fish and chips is like over a tenner if you get a good decent beer. A pint, I think, can vary between £5 and £9. I mean, London, definitely you're looking more than £9, £10 mark. Did we have it easy? Oh, I haven't heard that variation of it before. I definitely feel with the lockdown, you knew things were going to go up because they had to try and compensate, because obviously the tourism was down and everything like that. So that you could understand, but I don't think, and I don't see how all these years down the line it's still going through the roof. Like the energy prices, when you saw it, was it something like 800% rise? And all that does is for the fat cats at the top, because they're the ones pocketing while everyone else is struggling. I have my gas and electric actually up for renewal. Well, it'll be end of May, yeah. My internet I locked in for 2 years because I was thinking, crap, I've got home insurance renewal I've got to do, the gas and electric, the broadband, the like life insurance and the house policies. But house policies I don't have to worry, they just run concurrent with my mortgage. Never knew that. See, I'm learning. My gas and electric, that is due for renewal in May. My broadband I don't have to worry about. I've just had my letter on my council tax, and my water bill apparently is going up. So I'm like, yay. Okay, oh, and my boiler insurance. All the little things that you kind of forget about, but then realise that they are very, very much needed. I don't know how much they're going to go up. And then the ones that don't go up, i.e. like the broadband, they still go up in April. Is it by about 2.5%, 3%, I think Mum said? So even though you're locked in, you're still not actually locked in at that price. Yeah. We will see then, my lovelies. As I say, I've got no idea. I know my council tax has gone up. I think it's £10 a month it's gone up, it worked out. So I think my new council tax is about £190 a month, which I say, what do I pay for? I used to say that at Mum's, what do we pay council tax for? But here, I kind of see it, like our bins are always done, the roads are being maintained, like we're all good to go. Let's have a look. I'm just actually going to go and get a little bit of a drink, my lovelies, and then I'll be right back, because I can't lie, it's early in the morning, my belly is like, feed me, so I feel like I need a little snack. So I'm going to quickly pause this, and then I will be right back when I've had a little bite to eat. Hello, my lovelies. Oh, that was a little bit longer than I anticipated. Whew. I don't know, lately my sugars are all over the place and I don't know why. I don't know if it's because I'm getting older, but yeah. But what I did have at hand is my iron brew pastels. So when I feel like this is going to be so off topic, but I like to sit on a cold floor. So I've literally just laid down on the bathroom tiles for about 10 minutes and had a couple of the iron brew pastels, and I feel okay. I feel it could be my new protein drink. I've gone back on vitamins and proteins, and I don't know if it's not agreeing with me this time. I just need to monitor it. But yeah, I'm back. So let's get back into it, Shannon Lee. I know what you mean. I'm worried about getting my next council tax bill, and of course the food price is going up. It's not great. I feel sorry for the elderly, as how will they cope? This is my thing as well with the food. Why I feel like now, seeing what's happening potentially with America and taxes and tariffs and that going up, but for locally grown stuff within England, why is the prices, or why are the prices going up so much? That's something I don't understand. I mean, Dan, he really wants a greenhouse in the garden because he'd love to grow his own vegetables, which I'm here for. I love all of that. But when you look sometimes at the quality of the fruit and veg you get in the supermarkets and the price of it, it's not sometimes that different to a price at a farm shop, and you get better quality. So I don't see where, is it the price for the packaging's gone up? Has the price for like the stuff they use to preserve it? I don't know. I don't see why there is such an influx of the prices. And meat, for example, I went to the supermarket last week. We had to pick up some chicken breasts, and I looked at them and they just looked fake. They really did. I don't know what was, they just looked like you would cook them and they would just shrivel with loads of water. They wasn't plump. They wasn't like a good succulent chicken breast. And when I looked at the price of it, I was like, what? There is no way, sorry guys. There is no way that can be like that. And yeah, I don't get why it is. And you may already have had your council tax bill by the time this goes up, my lovely. So I hope it hasn't gone up too much. I mean, I would like to think it's gone down, but I don't think it will be going down for many people as much as we would love it to, eh? One of you says, hi honey, well here we go. I remember when things was like 5p and 10p sweets when I was younger, back in the day. I still remember Freddo's being 20p. That was my like childhood, 20p Freddo's. And I think Freddo is over £1 now. Oh my God, talking about chocolate, my belly's just like, blah, 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 blah. No, we might get you some water after this, okay? We'll get you some water because it's very upset this morning and I don't know why. We'll look after you, don't worry, darling. I pay over £500 for a 3-bedroom house I live in, and it's going up another £120 for room tax, and that I have to watch out for. I buy the shops and I look twice for cheaper. I don't drink, I don't drive, I don't smoke, but like bills have gone up so much with water bills and that type of things, it's struggling with things now that we didn't before. Honestly, I like water. I don't mean to sound stupid, I mean I probably do. Why are water bills going up? You're not putting more filtered water into my taps, are you? You're not filtering the water that's coming through my toilet. I'm not getting sparkling, pristine water that I can brush my teeth with and have a drink from. No. I don't... Water is one thing that I really don't understand why we pay for. I really don't see why we pay for water. I just think, what? Like, that probably, I'm still, as I say, I'm still a very naive homeowner. I'm still learning what these things are. But that's one thing I would begrudge paying, because I'm just like, I don't see why we have to pay for something, especially at the prices that some people have to pay. I mean, they take, what is it? My bill. I think it's £52 a month. And yet my last 3 months, I've only used, I think, £25. Because obviously we're at work all day. It gets run for the showers of a morning and evening. But when you look into like however many thousand millicubed litres or whatever is needed, we're nowhere near that. And as I say, it's very, very minimal. But they still, in essence, take over half extra of what we have. So I think come April, I don't know, will they carry it forward to next year's premium or will they give me a refund? I'm not too sure on that. I need to look into it. But yeah, I don't get it. And I'm with you there, looking around. I definitely would say look around for the prices of things as to where they could be better from, because sometimes I know a lot of people say, like, if you go to, I don't know, like a baker's, the butcher's, the farm shop, the fishmonger's, whatever you have nearby, like a garden centre with a farm shop attached, oh, they're going to be so much more expensive. Sometimes there are some things, I'm not going to lie, where you look at it and you think, whew, that is a big jump. Most of the time it is on par for par what you would pay at a supermarket, and also the quality is so much better. And I like it because it's supporting local businesses. And a lot of people DM me and say, oh my God, like I never thought about going to my local farm shop, my butcher's. Went there last week and I get pictures. I actually love it. People send me pictures of like their hampers of like their fruit, veg, their if they've been to a fishmonger, if they've been to their butcher's. I had one lady and we've had a proper little chit chat because she was like, I need different flavoured sausages, and she went to a local butcher's, which she didn't realise was 15 minutes away, and she come back and she was like, look at all these packs of sausages I've got, and they was fresh, they was all different flavours, and we got started speaking about Brogan's dad's iron brew sausages that he has and how they are 10 out of 10. So I'm like, if you're ever up in Edinburgh, please go and check them out. And yeah, and she said the prices weren't actually too much different to what you would pay in the likes of, say, Tesco or Asda. And she had, what did she do the other day? It's kind of like a toad in the hole, but I'd never seen it before. She put like the toad in the sausages, and then she had a mash and her peas. It was almost like a giant Yorkshire pudding with everything in. And she was like, these are the best sausages I've ever had. And I'm like, you know what? I love supporting smaller businesses. And I know sometimes people say, nah, I'd rather just go to a supermarket. That's fine, you do you. And as I say, if you want to support local businesses, you do you as well. I just think I would rather, if something was say £1 or something more, I'd rather give it to an independent business than a huge supermarket. And as I say, I do think the quality is a lot better at those types of places. And they always do offers. Majority of places you go, they do offers, and you'll see stuff sometimes that you wouldn't even think of trying, think of needing. I mean, our local farm shop does pie and mash, and we've been down there a couple of times, so we'll go down, we have pie and mash as like a little lunch, and then we'll go into the farm shop. And it's just little bits and bobs that I think if you can try and help out and you have one nearby, definitely do. Let me know down below if you have any local businesses around by you, my lovelies. Let's have a look. All over the world, the cost of living is going up and it's hard to keep going. I tend to make do with what I have. That's the best way to be. That is the best way to be, my lovelies. Like, I can't lie, having this house, it definitely does put into perspective where my money has to go now. It is hard, I can't lie. I do find myself sometimes like, that's the money I need for that bill, but I really want to treat myself to something this month. I get that. I do, through the house, have a few more credit cards than I did when I bought it, but I've done it sensible, 0% for, I think one of them is like 32 months. So it gives you a bit of breathing space. My other stuff is direct debits coming out. Don't have to worry about that. But the way I look at it is an investment. If I didn't get this house when I did, I don't know when I would have been in a position to get it. And I think getting it, we've done a lot of interior work. We haven't done any structural work. I had all these plans when I come in. I was like, right, I want to do an extension, a loft conversion. It's not the forever house. So for me, if we can make it more modern and livable, that is the avenue we've gone down. The next project will be the garden, which Danny's ever so excited to get in for the garden. That's going to be his project, and I'll sort out like the front driveway and that. But inside, apart from a new boiler, a new kitchen, new doors, and everything just having like a lick of paint and a bit of a freshen up and modernisation, I don't think we've done too bad. Dan said once it's done with the garden and everything, he wants to get an estate agent round. And I was like, well, I'm not putting it up yet. Hold on a minute, we've only just finished it. He said, no, get them round and see what they would value it at now and see if you've made profit on it. And I was like, oh, actually, that's quite a good idea. So that might be something we'll do later on in the year once the garden and the driveway and everything's done and complete. We'll see if I have made a little bit on it, because I did get it for, it was a very good bargain. For what it was up for to what I paid, I haggled. Trust me, your girl haggles. But the way I look at it, you've got to kind of try and start off a little bit in the profit. So if it was valued at that and I got it for that, in essence, I'm already that much up. That's how I look at it. And then, as I say, bit of lick and paint, open it up a bit. We shall see how we get on, my lovelies. But yeah, it definitely does put things into perspective of living to your means. And I know from previous comments, people say like, Shan, stop spending. I know, and I really wish I could. If you knew me pre-YouTube, I spent a hell of a lot more than I do now. I was on less money and I spent like it was going out of fashion. But now I look at it and I don't need to be buying loads and loads of handbags because I've got them. However, I am waiting for the postman to deliver a birthday present from me to me. I saw something in November and it went out of stock. And I said, if it come back in before my birthday, that would be my birthday present from me to me. And it come back in stock. And I was like, I'm taking the plunge and I'm getting it. And I know it won't be to everyone's taste, but you guys ain't going to see that until I do my birthday vlog. It's going away. I actually think I might take it to mum's, just so it's not here. But I know that's my birthday present from me to me. And I'm so blooming excited for it. But yes, I do live to my means. I always make sure, as long as the bills are paid, the cards, the direct debits, as long as everything's there and I've got a little bit left over, I'm happy. And as I say, my outgoings, sometimes they can fluctuate with, obviously, every 3 months we'll do like a big stock up with the tins, cupboards and everything like that. But on the whole, month to month, our general living isn't too much. It's just like a little weekly food shop, and we might have one takeaway or a meal out once a month. In terms of eating out, we've cut back a lot on that. When we go to London, we might just grab, say, like a little light bite instead of going into a proper restaurant, or we might actually leave it and then grab food once we're home or eat before we go out. If anyone has any tips or tricks of how to save money as well on that type of front, please do let me know. But yeah, it's just, as I say, you live to your means, and everyone's means... Oh, I thought it was the postman knocking. Everyone's means of living are completely different. Everyone's priorities are different. And I think everyone do their own thing, and no judgment. You do you, we do we. Simple. As long as everything's paid for and no one's in any problems, that I think is the most important thing. And then the last one, my lovelies. Everything has slowly started going up after Brexit. Then lockdown hit and loo roll went from £4 for 6 to over 9. Walker's crisps used to be £1 for 6 and now it's £2.50. We changed from always shopping at Tesco's to Aldi and checking online who has the best bargains. It's like clothing. I will always shop in the sales, mainly because I love a bargain. Nothing wrong with that, my lovely. The best thing I ever did years ago was go on a fixed tariff, and now do the washing, ironing and cooking in bulk on Sundays, as it's half price plus a water meter. They wanted £660 a year for, which when 2 kids lived at home was great. But now there's just 2 of us, decided to give the water meter a go, and we now pay less than £200 a year and still use the same amount of water, i.e. water in the garden, washing the car, and even pressure washing the flags. Charity begins at home, and why should the elderly pay for what goes on in other countries? Because you can bet they wouldn't come over to our age if it was the other way round. Venting over. That is my thing. I think when you think of the incidents that have happened in Britain, what countries come to help us? Who was the external forces when we had the terror attacks in London? Which country come and aided us or helped us? Or if anyone did, why was it not vocalised so that in terms like this, people will see, well, hold on, we're helping this country and this country. Who helps us? Does anyone know if any countries help us? If you do, please do let me know below, and we can all gain a little bit of knowledge from this. But I do believe that is the case. Britain seems to be very quick to help and assist everyone else, but no one wants to reciprocate that, in essence, to us. Water meters. So when I was at mum's, we used to pay like a fixed rate, and then now I'm on a water meter. That's very different for me. I don't know if it will work out more. I'd have to ask mum when I get my final bill. I'll be like, Mum, is this like what we used to pay at home? I'm not too sure on that front. I remember like the hosepipe ban. Do you remember when that was the thing? They wanted to put everyone on a hosepipe ban. Jesus Christ. And sale shopping, there's nothing wrong with that. Now, in terms of shopping, if I see something and I still think about it, say a week or 2 later, I'm like, okay. I will then put it into like I have an app where it will tell you if it goes down or anything like that. And if it goes down and it's a considerable amount, I'll be like, okay, I'm going to treat myself. I think you still have to have that outlet of treating yourself, whether that be buying yourself something, taking yourself off for an afternoon to go for a walk or a coffee, just sitting down having reading a book, having a chill for 5 minutes. You need to treat yourself, because I keep seeing a lot of these quotes roaming around Instagram and TikTok, and it's like, life is short. And why are we spending it all the time working for like those minimal years after for retirement? Like, why are we doing this? We need to seize the day and take the opportunities now. And I'm like, yes. So if I've done a little bit of overtime 1 month and I think, you know what, I really have had my eye on that, I don't know, that coat for a while, I'm going to get that. A lot of my stuff now, though, needs to be for the house. I'll be like, oh, I've had my eye on that slow cooker for a while and it's gone down in the south. I'm going to treat myself to that. It's got no relevance to me because it would be for me and Dan, and I'll probably be the one chopping the bits in and then we both enjoy it. But yeah, it's not that often now I see and I think, we're okay, don't get me wrong, my passion and my weakness is my books. I will always, always, always have a passion for my books, and I have a list as long as your arm for books for my birthday, because Dan and Mum was like, right, we're going to limit, I don't know, I can't actually remember how many the limit was of books. And they was like, do you have any that you are on the hunt for? And I'm like, do. That is one thing, because I don't think you can put a price on something that just calms you and takes you away. And as I say, the book that I'm reading now, I'm so engrossed into it. Dan called the other day and I was like, he was on FaceTime and I was like, 1 sec. And he was like, it's your book? And I was like, yeah, I'm just getting to, and it was like the plot twist I'd been waiting for. And I was like, oh my God. And he was like, I'm actually just going to leave you to it because you look so engrossed. I was like, I've only got 2 chapters left. I don't think you can put a price on that. If, say, for example, people like running, they might go and buy a running jacket or running trainers, which people will be like, oh my God, how much? But what does it matter? If that's what they have to calm and relax and take care of themselves, that should be all that matters. But yes, my lovelies, the cost of living for Scandals with Shan is done. And I really do hope that there is some type of movement in a more positive way for the cost of living, because I don't know. I don't know where it can go if it keeps increasing. The wages aren't increasing with the cost of living. So how do they expect people to warrant, you're putting everything up, the wages are staying the same. How's it ever going to equate? People will just get more and more in debt, and that's when the problems do begin. But, my lovelies, thank you so much for sending your comments in, because otherwise, as I say, I would just be sitting here rabbiting myself. If you did enjoy the video, you know what to do. Hit that thumbs up and subscribe down below, and leave me a comment, anything to do with this video. And if there's any other topics that you would like to see me do, head over to the Scandals with Shan playlist. It will show you all of the ones we've spoken about before. I do have a few in the pipeline for the next few months, but you know me, I have my big ever-growing book of ideas, and I like to get all of your inputs, and we can put it together, and who knows, your video might be coming up very soon. But yes, take care, stay safe as always, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye guys!